Hey guys, so one of the things about buying a used boat when I bought this Pro Guide was you're going to run into some troubles inevitably, and it's no fault of the previous owner or anybody. It's just a case of when you get used, you're going to have some issues, and without the new warranty, you really have no recourse but to kind of fix it yourself. And whether we could have or couldn't have bought a new boat really it doesn't matter. I'm not in a position to get a quote-unquote boat deal. I don't know how those work. I don't know if guys buy the boats outright and then have to sell them, or if they get them free or they get them at just cost. I really don't know. When I did look at new boats last year, it was going to be $90-something thousand for a new boat. I got this one for a third of the cost, knowing I was going to run into some issues. And that kind of brings me to today's video. When I was out on the water this past weekend with my buddies, Paul and Adam, like we've had already at the beginning of this year, it's been a tough year. It's been tough fishing. And let's go check out the one cool thing that did happen on the water. I saved a couple other clips, but nothing was super exciting. So let's check out that clip and then come back here. Got that nose down drop that I like.
Before we came up here 2 years ago, a buddy that I told you that fishes Elkhart Lake, he says the two colors you're going to want are black and orange.
Yeah, black and orange is good. Black and chartreuse we've done really well with.
We went to Dutchie's over there on the left-hand side.
Yep.
And my dad bought a black and orange Meps number 5.
Yeah, those have caught a lot of fish over the years.
And we were down fishing the channel between Cedar and Peralt. My dad got a 36-incher at it.
Nice. Yeah, we're casting right into the weeds there now.
Yeah, I'm pulling them in
pretty
much every cast.
Yeah, if you're feeling weeds.
Fish on!
Okay, rod tip down. All right, guys, I'm out here. My buddies Paul and Adam. Paul just got his first, it's a little pike here, but we're on a good musky spot. It was staying down like a musky. And what did we say it was, 28?
28.
So it's a nice little pike, little fat one, so we can release that one. Paul, just release him right into the lake there. All right, buddy.
Tip over. There you go.
He'll be good, I think.
I think so too.
All right, so as you guys can see, we caught a cool pike. It identified as a muskie, if that makes any difference. But partway through that day, I felt like my motor wasn't running properly. It wasn't making any noises, no error codes, nothing like that. It just didn't feel like it had the same jump out of the hole. I thought maybe it was an issue with the fuel vent line. I've been having trouble with that. It doesn't want to accept fuel into the tank. I think the vent line might be plugged a bit, so I thought maybe it was starving for fuel. The fuel gauge has been acting up. That's another project I think I'm going to take you guys on when we look at that, because I think those of us that have used boats, these kind of things arise, and we're all the same. We're all in the same boat, so to speak. But this is a 150 Verado Mercury. It's got the supercharger, which is right up in the front here. And not really going to show you guys everything, but it felt like I wasn't getting boost. And when I got home, this clamp right here, I'm just going to grab the camera and bring it up and show you guys where this clamp was loose, and then this boot was actually loose. And I'm sure all of the boost pressure was just bypassing there. So come up, have a quick look. So this clamp here was just loose, and it was supposed to be right on that position there. And now that rubber is loose in there. So I'm sure I was losing all of my boost. So the actual Mercury has, I think it's called an Oetiker clamp. So it's like the clamp that's on CV boots on your vehicle. On that side, obviously it has either been broke or changed at one time, and then there's hose clamps on the outer edges to attach to the intercooler and then to attach to the supercharger. Now, I could put this same hose clamp on, but I'm gonna suspect that it's just not getting it tight enough. I wanna check this first hose clamp. So I went to my place of work, and because I drive heavy equipment, heavy trucks, this is a different style of clamp. And it's made for air-to-air hoses on our big trucks and our heavy equipment. It's also for rad hoses, and you can tighten it with a 7/16 socket, excuse me, and these will tighten up. It's much wider than this one, so it's gonna cover more area of the rubber, and I can tighten it up much tighter. So I'm gonna put these on and see if I can get it kind of sitting where I want. And I'm not gonna show you guys kind of the ins and outs there. We'll come back here when I got this kind of apart, and then as I put the new clamp on. Yeah, just gonna kind of quickly bring you guys in here. So I have the new clamp right here, and I'm gonna put it so it's right on the edge of the rubber, and I actually loosened up the old clamp, which actually didn't even feel like it was making contact with the metal part of the supercharger underneath. So I think I'm gonna change both these clamps, and I'll be right back. Hey, I got the one clamp on. Just gotta be careful to keep it right on the edge, and I'm gonna put this one on so that this bolt is on the bottom opposite of that one, and then I can kind of tuck it in so it's out of the way. I'll put that on and we'll be right back. All right, I got the two clamps on. Hopefully that will work. Looks like it's on good. I want to go test it, but because we have storms in the area and a lot of wind, I'll probably wait until tomorrow to revisit this video and see if this actually kind of cured that problem. And for all you guys that do have boats and you have specific issues that you know come up, so stuff like this, I wasn't aware of this prior to, obviously having this issue, but I'm gonna go and buy a couple more of these clamps. They were like $9 or $10. So versus just a stock hose clamp, which I will keep in my toolkit, but I'll buy a couple of these, and then if any of these other clamps let go while on the lake, I should kind of know the symptoms of it, and it'll be a quick and easy fix on the lake to actually swap those out. So sometimes, when you do run into these problems, you have to use it as a little bit of a learning experience. And Dave and I, anytime we run into any kind of issues like this, we figure out, it's like, okay, what do we need to kind of get ourselves fixed up on the water? And in this case, a couple hose clamps or a couple of these big clamps here, and we'll be good to go, and it's something you can actually do on the water. So let's pick this up when we get a chance to actually get out on the lake again. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, I'm out on Eagle Lake and just got the boat in the water. I have not tried to see if it's gonna run any better or not. We changed those clamps at home. Hopefully that's gonna solve our boost pressure issue. I'll know as soon as we basically hit the throttle here if it's gonna jump out of the hole or if it's gonna be lazy. I'll keep an eye on the RPM gauge, and it's gonna get wind noise here as I take off. If it's good, I'll stop. If it's bad, I'll stop, and we'll have to address it as we go here. So fingers crossed. Let's see if my two clamp fix has made the difference here, guys. Absolutely. Working perfect. All right, guys, it jumped right out of the hole perfect, and looks like the fix was in those clamps. So I guess the big takeaway from a video like this, yeah, it's not really musky fishing, but it's kind of related to what we all go through if we own boats, and especially used boats. And yeah, this boat is it's in nice shape, and everything works really well, but I knew I was going to run into some problems. It's a 2010 model, so it's already 14 years old, guys, so you're going to run into problems. And I was fortunate. I had a father that really taught me a lot about mechanics and automotive and heavy equipment and boat and small engines. So being able to kind of do some of your own repairs really helps, because let's face it, shop rates these days are expensive. Watch out, Rosie. So, you know, between my dad, that's the one I probably have to thank the most for helping me understand what to look for. My brother-in-law, Richard, he's another one that I really turn to if I need help with something. So for you guys out there, if you have a boat, or it's any of the stuff that you guys own, when you run into trouble, reach out to your friends that know this stuff, because they're such an invaluable resource, and you don't always have to go to a shop. I know with some of this new stuff, we just can't repair it at home, but I felt confident that I kind of knew where the problem was. Yeah, this was an easy fix, but you guys, you can do it yourself. And now we're back on the water. I'm going to run out to Richard's here for a little bit, and then later this afternoon, I'm going to be fishing with Hunter. So hopefully we have good luck later. But for a video where Dave and I had to kind of work through some issues, check out the video right here. And until next time, 54 Bus is out of here. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you out on the water later.